George Soros pushes to protect Google and Facebook from FCC rules. Why? Now, we know during the Obama administration, net neutrality came up quite a bit, and they were making the case that we need to keep the playing field even and make it good for everyone. But was that what it was really about? Because every time they place certain words on bills or laws or on certain agendas, with the government, it always seems the opposite. Take, for example, the Affordable Care Act. Is that really affordable? And if you even questioned the Health Care Act, they would say, why? You don't want your health care to be affordable? You're against affordability? And they word these things in a certain way to make it seem like it's really benefiting the people when it really isn't. Take, for instance, the Patriot Act. Well, if you don't support the Patriot Act, then you're not a patriot. Well, then the Patriot Act allows the government, intelligence agencies, and others to spy on the people. So when we look at these things, we can see that it really means the opposite, and net neutrality really doesn't mean what they're saying. It's actually the opposite. And to push their case, they're switching everyone's focus on the ISP, saying, well, we need to regulate them, we need to keep them equal, so this way they're not harming everybody. But really, it's not the ISPs. It's really the social media giants, where they are practicing censorship, where they are blocking certain videos, blocking certain sites, blocking certain reports, and if they're not blocking it, they're pushing it down. And we can see ahead of the FCC chairman's Ajit Pai's taking the first steps in repealing Obama's net neutrality rules, Soros and his two funded organizations, well, they held a press conference on the matter to make sure everyone is on the same page and we need to keep net neutrality because he spends a lot of money pushing his agendas forward. Now, during a press conference, there were a lot of reporters out there and they were all asking like softball type of questions. But one question was pretty good, and it actually came from Infowars.com. And the question was, given that almost all real-world examples of blocking or prioritizing content are occurring on monopoly platforms such as Google, Twitter, Facebook, and others, would you support applying net neutrality rules of no throttling, no prioritization, and no blocking of lawful content to massive Silicon Valley content gatekeepers like Google, Facebook, and Twitter, and others? Even YouTube is included in this. And the initial reaction of those in the press conference was completely stunned, and there was silence. Because how dare you mention these companies? These are the ones that we don't want to have net neutrality. We want these companies to report on fake news, which we know is the news that they're not reporting on. We want these companies to suppress certain websites or hide certain videos or certain stories. Now, Craig Allen, president and CEO of Free Press, finally answered by attempting to distinguish that major telecommunication companies and the internet service providers are the only groups regulated by the Obama-era FCC net neutrality rules because they connect users to the internet. Now, yes, they connect users to the internet, but Google, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, they track users on the internet. They know exactly where you've been, where you're going, what are you searching for, and they trade this information with each other. He also said that we have to remember that you can decide not to use Facebook, Google, and the others, and it's much harder not to decide to use an ISP. Well, it is easy to decide. You just switch to another one. You have AT&T Uverse, you have Xfinity, you have your cable company, you have satellite, you have many others that you can use. Just like with the search engines, you can use Google, you can use Yandex, you can use Dogpile, you can use Yahoo, you can use Bing, you can use many others. So why aren't they included? Because that's the real story. They don't want to include these big social media companies because if they do, then it would be very difficult for them to censor, to suppress, or to create this fantasy of their basically telling you what's real and what's fake news. And that's what this is all about. It's about trying to keep their narrative of the story and trying to shift everyone into what they want you to believe. Now, you can hear more of all of this in the full report, which is on the X22 Report YouTube channel. And those reports are Monday through Friday, one on Sunday, and they're between 6 and 7 Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to listen to incredible interviews, you can go to the X22 Report Spotlight YouTube channel, where you can hear interviews with Cliff High, you can hear interviews with David Morgan, you can hear interviews with Michael Snyder, you can hear interviews with David Stockman, Jim Rickards. So head on over to the X22 Report Spotlight YouTube channel, and you can hear all the interviews there.